Greetings everyone and welcome back to the channel for another 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. And today we're going to be taking a look at something slightly different. What we've got today is the BM Project Shotaro Kaneda from the 1988 anime film Akira. Now, a little bit of background on this. This figure's been on my radar for quite some time, ever since I first saw the Akira film back in '88, and quite groundbreaking it was too. It was really the first anime film to break in the West, to introduce the Western audience to Japanese anime, and a stunning piece of animation it was for its time as well. A little bit dated by today's standards, but really without Akira, there will be no modern anime in the West, I don't think. If you've not seen this film, I would recommend seeking it out. As I say, it's dated, but it really is a milestone in animation. While Disney was still mucking about with fluffy woodland creatures and mermaids, the Japanese and Akira were taking animation into completely new areas, and they were looking at moral questions of authority and religion and politics, all wrapped up in a sort of cyberpunk post-apocalyptic dystopian future. They were really challenging, and the animation was simply mind-blowing. It was incredible. We hadn't seen anything like it, and it really changed the world of animation, and it hasn't been the same really since this film was released. But that's enough of me gushing about Akira. This particular figure I have been after for some time. As I said, it's been on my radar for quite some time. Only just managed to get it. It's only just arrived. It's brand new. It's still sealed and unopened, so we're all on a voyage of discovery here. It's completely new to me. But yeah, there's also another figure that was released from the Akira film, Tetsuo. I'm still after that. But those of you who know the film will know that Kaneda rode a particularly fancy bike, a rather beautiful red bike that has also been released by Bandai and Medicom Toys. That is on its way. We're going to be getting that in for review. It's on its way in the next week or two. Hopefully it'll land, so we'll be looking at that when it comes in, so we compare the two together. But yeah, we're here today to look at Kaneda. So as always, what we'll do is we'll take a brief look at the box, then it'll be diving down onto the table, have a look at all the accessories that come with your Kaneda figure. Then it'll be out with Kaneda himself onto the turntable, have a close-up look at this guy, and find out everything we can about him. Then it'll be over to the Detolf, see how this guy displays under the Detolf lights, and as always, we'll be going out with a mini showcase to wrap the whole thing up. So yeah, the box itself, relatively small and relatively simple design. Just all black. You've got BM Project in the top left-hand corner there, Shotaro Kaneda there. There's some Japanese. I don't speak Japanese, and nor do I read Japanese, but I'm assuming that's his name in Japanese there. Obviously Akira in the same font that they used for the film. And in the bottom portion of the box here, you've got this rather nice, and I'll see if the light can catch that. You're probably seeing that, this high gloss picture of the figure itself. In the bottom corner, you've got Bandai, Medicom Toys, and I believe that is Kodansha. I've never heard of them, so but I'm assuming they all work together on this figure. Also fair to note at this point that Bandai were actually responsible for funding the original film itself. So I'm hoping that there's going to be some real screen accuracy here. So yeah, that's the front of the box. On the side there, very, very straightforward, just says Akira in black, Kaneda's name at the bottom. On the back here, there's a very sort of faint outline stroke picture of the figure itself. You've got BM Project in the top right hand corner. Once again, it says Akira, Shotaro Kaneda, and then you've got all your credits and warnings at the bottom here. Don't piss this figure off, or it may completely destroy Neo Tokyo. On this side, Akira again, and it's got a little bit of a party piece, this box. It's got a magnetic flap. We'll open it up so we can take a look inside. And a rather nice interior it has as well. On the left-hand side here, yet another high-gloss picture of the figure itself. High-gloss picture of the bike. more shots of the back of the figure's jacket, a couple of shots of the headshots appear. There's a lot of Japanese writing here. I'm believing that's just describing what we're looking at here, and then the figure itself. And I'll turn this on its side just to maybe cut down on the glare. I do like what they've done here. The front of the box itself has actually got this cutout of the lettering for Akira, and then you can see the figure underneath it. Just very bold, but very, very effective. So, yep, there you have it. That's the box. So, without further ado, let's dive down onto the table and have a look at all the accessories that come with your Kaneda figure. Okay, so here we are with all the accessories out of the box, down on the table. Let's have a look at everything that comes with your Kaneda figure. Let's start with the hands, as we always do. You know me and my hand fetish. Bit of a standing joke now. There are two hands already on the figure. They're gloved hands. Fair to say at this point that all the hands are gloved. The only difference being that you have some where the end of the glove is actually turned down. So you've got two unturned down, shall we say, hands already on the figure, and you've got another 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs here. That's 5 pairs in total. A total of 10 hands, which is really good to see. A lot of different hands here. So let's have a close-up look at a couple of them. Let's start with this one. Now, at this point, it's fair to say, and this applies to the figure in general, what we're looking at here is an anime character. So the level of detailing is not going to be as high as, say, I don't know, a Hot Toys live-action movie figure or something like that. We've got to remember it's coming from essentially what is a cartoon. The paintwork is a lot more matte. The colours are more matte. There's due to the style of animation, the level of detailing doesn't need to be quite as high, but it needs to be stylized, and that's what we're looking for here. So yeah, let's take a look at one of these hands. Straight away, the paintwork looks pretty good to me, and it's capturing, most certainly it's capturing the screen accuracy that we want to see. The sculpting is nice. There is stitch work there. There is creasing in the palm area. The stitch work down the thumb looks very, very nice, and on the cuff itself. The paint applications look pretty good. It looks like there's some painting in the crevices there in the fingers and a slight variation in the knuckles. Let's bring another one up to see if I'm right on that one. Yeah, it does look like there's a couple of paint applications here, but not a lot. But as I said before, doesn't need a lot. The only real difference you're seeing here is in the turned down cuff, where you're seeing obviously the inside of the glove itself has a tonal change, which is reflected on the turn down section, which looks very, very nice. And there's a couple of paint applications in there to give it some shading, and that stitch work is picked out very, very nicely. So yeah, the sculpt is good, the paintwork is good, all promising so far. And there's a wide variety here. Let's have a look at. Yeah, let's take this one. Now, I'm assuming this one is for holding the trigger of the gun. It looks that way because it's flat on top. The trigger of the weapon itself is actually about halfway down, so that would explain why that's flat across the top there. But we'll come to that. And I'm also assuming that there are going to be some. Yeah, I'm assuming this hand here, this gloved hand, will be for holding the handlebars of the bike itself. But we'll see that when the bike comes in and up for review. So yeah, nice variety of hands. Did we do the firmness test? I think we did. Yeah, we said that these are very, very hard. So yeah, let's put these to one side. That's all the hands that you get with your Kaneda figure. Oh yeah, and just quickly, really nice to see. Every single one has got its own wrist peg already attached. So rather than having just a couple of wrist pegs that you've got to swap out every time you decide that you want to change up the pose and put a new pair of hands on, these have all got wrist pegs in them. That's really, really nice touch there from Medicom. So yeah, props to Medicom there. We'll put those hands to one side. Let's take a quick look at this stand. Relatively straightforward, clear plastic. No stickers, no nameplates, nothing like that. Just a clear plastic stand with a hole in it for the pole itself. Once again, all clear plastic. Slightly unusual in that it's hinged. It's hinged at either end and in the centre there. So this is the first time doing this on camera, so bear with me. I've never seen one of these. Well, I have seen them, but I've never owned one of these stands before. So I'm assuming that slots in there. And then you've got a sort of full range of motion there, which is really good, I think, actually, for if you're wanting to pose this in some different poses. So you've got a 360 movement there. And then you've got that hinge there in the center and a hinge at the top as well. The waist grabber itself opens up and simply slots on to that portion of the stand there. So yeah, it's nice this. You've got some real options in there for how you want to pose your figure. And a lot of range of movement in there. So yeah, very nice. Liking that. So we'll put that to one side. That's your stand. Let's take a look at this weapon. Now, this is quite a hefty piece, this one. Now, once again, there is some, the sculpting itself looks to me to be exceptionally screen accurate, and I would expect that, as I said, the Bandai being involved in the actual production of the film itself. The paint applications here are nice. It's pretty much all one grey, gunmetal grey. There does appear to be a little bit of weathering. I'm not sure whether the camera's picking this up, but there appears to be a little bit of weathering on the barrel area there. But on the whole, it's all pretty much one continuous paint application. There are some highlights in the crevices here. There's a white section there. These sort of yellow lines. I'll just angle this slide a little bit more so we can see those. There's a tonal change there with grey paint. It's all one piece of sculpted plastic, as I mentioned. There's just some yellow bits to pick out there. Probably the only thing of real note that changes tonally on this is the actual handle itself. Now there are some dials sculpted in there, some other little bits and pieces, what looks like a safety, and it does appear to be a little more than one paint application in there as well. Just to give it a sort of used look where the hand's been. But yeah, there you have it. That's the weapon itself. Yeah, very nicely sculpted and very screen accurate. Let's put that down for a second and take a look at this. Now, I'll pause for breath, and while I'm pausing for breath, I'm going to take this piece of wire off here, which is holding together this lead. Now, having seen the film on numerous occasions, I know this will lead from here into the gun itself. Yeah, so let's just, while I'm catching my breath, unravel this. So there we go. So the sculpt on the power pack itself, which has a shoulder strap, it's a canvas shoulder strap, and yeah, there's what appears to be at the top here. A little bit of that is exceptionally delicate. I was going to say that's pleather, but I'll go with pleather for the time being because it looks like it's got that material underneath it, and then it may just have been painted on top. That looks to me like it's already starting to crack, and as I said, this is a brand new figure, literally straight out of the box, but yeah, it looks like we've got some cracks already forming in there, so I'll probably need to treat that. I'm going to be very, very careful with that. Yeah, so canvas strap, pleather shoulder protector. The actual power pack itself is all one piece of sculpted plastic. Pretty much the same paint applications as you get on the gun itself. It's that gunmetal grey with a slight yellow line detailing on both sides, running down the edges. On the top, you have got a blue button and a red button, and this dial with another red section there, and a little bit picked out with that yellow paint again. Relatively straightforward. Oh, it says Bandai Spirits Medicom toy on the bottom as well. Yeah, and that's the power pack. Looks screen accurate to me. The only issue I'm picking up on so far, as I said, is that splitting in the shoulder strap, which is probably down to it being pleather and being set in a box for quite some period of time. So I will be paying some attention to that now. I am assuming this clips into the gun. Having done that bloke thing and not read the instructions, I am assuming, as I remember, it goes in the bottom here, and judging from this picture here, that this actually just slots into the bottom of the weapon. Yeah, it does. And there you have it. That's the weapon completed. So yeah, very nice it is too, apart from maybe some pleather issues that we've discovered already. So we'll put the weapon to one side, and finally, the last accessory. There are two head sculpts with this figure. There's one already on the figure itself. We'll take a look at that when we get it out next. And then there's this head sculpt. Now this head sculpt has got goggles on it. It looks to me, although I haven't had a look, as the figure is still to come out, yet to come out of the box. I've not checked the hair on this, but judging by this this photo here of the figure on the front of the box, this one the hair is supposed to suggest motion, because he's got his goggles on. I'm assuming this is when he's on the bike. Now I'll get this right into camera here, and as I mentioned before, the paint applications here are going to be a lot more matte, and it's all one tone for the face, and the hair itself is that stylized anime hair. Rather than picking out individual strands, what you've got are, well, for want of a better expression, clumps of hair, and it's highly stylized. But the color is right. I believe this is the color that his hair was in the film. The sculpt is absolutely spot on, and the paint applications really do reflect what you see on screen. So yeah, that's the Kaneda head sculpt with goggles. So let's put that to one side. And that, I believe, is all the accessories. So what we'll do next is what we always do, is let's bring out Kaneda himself. Let's get him onto this rather unique stand, get him onto the turntable, and see how this guy looks. Okay, so here he is, Kaneda himself, straight out of the box, straight onto the stand, straight onto the turntable. And first impressions are very good, very, very good. Proportions are correct. Colors are correct. The design of the outfit itself is screen accurate. So yeah, first-hand impressions are very, very positive. But we'll do as we always do. We'll start at the bottom, work our way up, and you know, look at this outfit itself and the head sculpt, the alternate head sculpt too. Let's stop him from spinning and bring him into shot. And yeah. As I say, first-hand impressions are very, very good. The boots themselves, now these are all one sculpted boot. There's no split-cut boot design here. There's no movement. So posing this guy is not going to be the easiest thing in the world. These boots will work great, I think, when he's on the bike, but any dynamic posing you're wanting off the bike might be limited, but we'll check that out when we go over to the detail when we wrap this whole thing up. So yeah, they're painted in exactly the same way as the gloves are, the same paint applications, and the same paint applications on the turn down section at the top. The whole suit itself, I believe, is made of pleather. Now, this is a brand new figure. Literally, this is the first time it's been out of the box. First time it came to me sealed, as I mentioned, and it's the first time out of the box. But pleather strikes fear into my heart, as it probably does a lot of 6-scale collectors. I will be treating this with Aerospace 101 as soon as possible, straight after this review. It does feel like pleather to me, although the design looks fantastic. It looks very screen accurate. His build and proportions are correct as far as I can tell. We've got knee pads here. These are solid plastic. It looks like they're glued on to the pleather itself. Let's spin him round. The stitch work looks very, very nice. It's creased in the right places. It falls in the right places. But yeah, pleather itself, it feels solid considering it's been sat in a box for X number of years. Although I did notice one tiny little deterioration on the collar up here, but we'll come to that. I've had figures, and I'm sure other people have experienced this as well, pleather figures which are brand new, which have sat in the box for a long period of time and literally have disintegrated in my hands when I've taken them out the box. So this has stood the test of time quite well, but it will be getting the 101 treatment. Yeah, so the jacket itself is very nice. It's got some plastic screen accurate buckles on here. It's turned down, once again, screen accurate. The padding is right. It's got that 80s feel. The shoulders are padded, and they've got these rib sections across the top. Once again, I believe that is pleather. Let's bring it round and take a look at the back. Just bear with me as we swing him round. Probably the most important place is this design on the back of the jacket itself. I am very, very wary as well of using this stand, simply because of this figure's age and the fact that it's pleather. I won't be using this this particular stand for the figure, simply because there's no protection between the harsh plastic of the waist grabber and the pleather itself, which is going to put unnecessary pressure on this pleather. And as we've seen with other manufacturers, they have a tendency to put some kind of foam protector glued in the inside of that waist grabber, which isn't present here. And I'm just a little bit conscious that that could damage this figure over time, or damage the pleather rather. The jacket has ridden up a little bit, and I've seen this, I've checked out a few other reviews, and it does seem to want to do this on a regular basis. But if I can pull that down, what you've got on the back of the jacket there is very, very screen accurate. There's the dual coloured pill, and it just says above, good for health, bad for education. And I believe these are stickers. They feel like, yeah, they're stickers. Yeah, this is why this is going to get treated ASAP, because if the leather starts to deteriorate particularly on the back here, it's going to damage these stickers as well, which would be irretrievable. So yeah, it's going to get some TLC once we've wrapped this whole thing up. But yeah, the jacket itself, he nearly went for a Burton there. Jacket itself, very screen accurate. The proportions of the figure, very, very good. Overall, excellent work here, and for a first experience from Medicom, they're getting a thumbs up. I would have liked to have seen leather, but it is what it is. The present toys version of this figure is due out soon. I have that on pre-order as well, and it'll be interesting to get these side by side and see how they compare, and to see if they'll be using pleather on with the suit for the suit on that figure. Because I know recently they've been erring towards leather. I know their blade figure and their Terminator figures recently had leather outfits. So it'll be interesting to see if their take on Kaneda has a leather outfit. Might be a swap out job, I don't know, but it's got a nice collar up here, which is once again screen accurate. Underneath you've got a red collar shirt, once again screen accurate, nice material, feels like a cotton underneath there. I think this now I said that these were plastic, they might be metal, not 100%. So no, I think they're plastic. You've got a hook clip by fastening on the jacket here. I'll bring it a little bit closer in so you can see. I'm not going to attempt to take that off. I'm not going to do anything here that might jeopardize this pleather, because it feels as though it's aged very, very well, but at the same time it feels sturdy but delicate, if that makes sense. But yeah, you've got the screen accurate buckle around the collar, but I don't think this lifts to fasten it, and I wouldn't want to do that anyway because I don't think that's particularly screen accurate. And let's take a look at this other head sculpt. Once again, we're looking at that same matte paintwork. The eyes are not glassy because these are simply they're drawn on to reflect that cartoon aesthetic from the film itself, but I think it looks exceptionally screen accurate. What are your thoughts? We've got any Akira fans out there? Do you own this figure? What are your thoughts on Medicom's take of this of Kaneda? The head itself, obviously, it's on a ball joint. Rather unusual. I've got the other head here. I'll bring it in. Actually, I'm not going to swap these out on camera, and there's a reason for that. I don't want to grip this body tightly to get this head off. I'll maybe try it off camera before we go over to the detail for the mini showcase at the end. It might be a delicate job, this one. Because these, in my experience anyway, these type of heads that go straight into the ball joint in the neck have a tendency to be difficult to get off the first time, and I don't want to put any unnecessary pressure, as I say, on the pleather. But yeah, the range of motion there is pretty good. you've got full down at the front, and that's simply because of the nature of this neck and the way it's and the head. You've got a right and a left movement there, pretty much all the way around, 180 degrees, and the up's pretty good, although I wouldn't want to have it too far up, simply because you can see that rather unsightly neck joint there. But yeah, some pretty good range of motion in the head. Let's have a look at the rest of the articulation, and once again, I'm going to be careful here, don't want to damage this pleather. I don't think there are butterfly joints at the shoulders there, but there's a good range of motion. Because this jacket is quite, it's in that 80s style of being quite baggy around the upper arms and the shoulders, it does help that movement. But yeah, articulation is pretty good. The body feels good underneath. Overall, I am very, very impressed. I'm liking it a lot. That pretty much covers it all. There you have your Kaneda figure from Akira. What we'll do next, as we always do, is we'll jump over to the Detolf. We'll get him under the Detolf lights, see how this guy displays, and go out with the mini showcase, as I mentioned. But yeah, as something that's been on my radar for a long, long time, I am really, really happy to have this in the collection. And I can't wait to see how it pairs up with the bike that's coming in soon as well. I'm sure it's going to be a cracking centerpiece display. For any fans of Akira out there, any fans of Akira and 6-scale figures, I can highly recommend this. If you've got the Present Toys version on pre-order, then maybe there's no reason to have this in the collection. But yeah. I thoroughly like it. I think it's a great representation of what is a fantastic character from what is a groundbreaking film. But yeah, there you have it. That is Shotaro Kaneda from Akira. Let's get him spinning again. So I suppose all it remains for me to say, let's slow him down a little bit there. That is way too fast for my liking. All it remains for me to say is thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button, comment in the comment section below. What's your take on Akira? Are you a fan? Are you not? Is this something you already have in your collection? Please hit that bell notification icon as well, because we have got so much more content coming up. What's coming up in the near future? Sideshow Harry, Sideshow Harry? Sideshow's Dirty Harry, which we seem to have been waiting for forever. A lot of Exo 6 stuff coming in. There's Admiral Picard, there's Krug from Star Trek 3, Savick from Star Trek 2, Dragon in Dreams, Pete Mitchell, Tom Cruise from Top Gun, Hot Toys Dead Strange, that's definitely on its way. Should be with us shortly. Caustic Plastic, Horror of Dracula, another one I'm looking forward to. The double pack of Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. And lots more retro reviews. There's a lot more new stuff coming in. I won't go on. There's more than I care to mention at this point. But yeah, please hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss anything. So what we'll do next is what we always do. It's over to the Detolf for the showcase. All it remains for me to say is take care of yourselves. Thank you for watching and happy collecting. And so over to the Detolf.